Karibu sana Mr. President.
Asante.
Everywhere ukiingia mtandaoni unaona tu John CW, John CW. Kindly, who is John CW Kenya?
Wow, thank you very much sir. It's a good first of all, karibuni sana hapa kwa ofisi na nashukuru Mungu. John CW is a Kenyan by birth, a believer, a Christian, a lover of truth, a husband of over 12 years, a father of 3 children, former matatu conductor, former matatu driver, former dog feeder, ministering on the streets, and many others. John CW is just a man that believes in justice and following the constitution of Kenya over the power that people tend to possess. That's who I am.
Right? But ukiangalia in Kenya political arena, your name appears most of the time. What is it?
I don't know. I'm even shocked, even you yourself being here. I think, let me ask a question. Ukipanda mti alafu matunda itokee, ni lazima uombe? Ni lazima uombe hiyo kitu ifanyike? Ni lazima ufast? Do you have to pray or fast? Ama hiyo kitu once umefanya ile process inatokeanga yenyewe? Si inajitokeza yenyewe? Matunda ya mahindi inajitokeza yenyewe ukishaipanda. Avocado inatokea yenyewe. Season ya kitu ikifika, hiyo kitu inafanyanga nini? It just, when the season of something comes, it just begins to flourish. I just think the season of right leadership has come, and that's why it's automatically just happening, even without me saying. I'm seeing a lot of words outside there. I'm even wondering, who said that? Who said that? I didn't say that, but clearly, a mango tree does not need to tell you it's a mango tree. You know it by its fruit.
Well, umekuwa mmojawapo ya viongozi wa kidini ambao umekuwa mnazungumza kwa wazi sana, hususan kuhusiana na uongozi. Kwa mfano kama juzi tulikuwa tunazungumzia mambo ya irrigation, ndio mambo ya irrigate kambani the public. Probably now that your name is appear for the political arena, given a chance, what would you promise, for example?
I think people have been given a chance and they have still wasted. I just think that the Bible says you know them by their fruit. Angalia tu ile kitu mtu ameweza kufanya before ndio iweze kukuambia huyu mtu mali anaelekea. I don't know, given a chance to do what? Given a chance to do what exactly?
Given a chance
to preach.
Number one, given a chance probably to advise the current leadership of the country. And number two, when given a chance to lead the country.
Wow, okay. The first one, which is to advise, it's very simple. Follow the constitution. Be a lover of justice. Arrest who needs to be arrested. And I hope you know, leader of the country is not just the president. There are 3 arms of government. There is the legislature, judiciary, and the executive. There is corruption in all those arms of government. So even if you have the right president and the wrong judge, you have the right judge and the wrong members of parliament, you still end up in the same black hole. So whichever rank that you are manifesting, do the right thing. Be a lover of justice. When someone is wrong, despite their position, whether it's your biological brother, let them face the full arm of the law. Secondly, when you talk about me, I don't know if I've thought about that, but I'll just do what I do best, which is to give the constitution space. You know, the constitution of Kenya, if you equivalent it to most of the constitutions in Uganda, I hope you know Tanzania, once a person has been declared, you can't go to court. So the constitution of Kenya gives us room to manifest more than many other constitutions. So in view of manifesting that constitution, Article 1, all sovereign power belongs to the people. Next article, you know, the people have a right to, you know, express it directly or through a democratic way of thinking. So when you really look at things like education in our constitution, think about things like the presidency in our constitution. Our constitution is very solid. And if our constitution is given a chance, Kenya can become a superpower in the whole world. So for me, I've not thought about that, but just in the event, I would desire that the constitution of Kenya be followed to the latter. Because with that constitution, Kenya can become the next face of this world.
There is a speech going on, there's a video
Yes, sir.
going on online.
Mm.
He was saying, there's a president who is coming,
Mm.
who will arrest
Yeah.
the former president who stole public resources.
Former presidents. It has an S, not former president. Yes, it means with an S. As many presidents as possible.
So in that question,
Yes, sir.
if you're given a chance, you have manifested in the past 90 days, will you be dealing with them?
Wow, this chance that you are saying today, you're making me feel very big. I'm just a little man. I clean toilets. I'm a small man. But I don't know. But this is what I know. Corruption has no relationship. Corruption is corruption. When you really look before people go ahead, and I know even with this, either it's a live or a recorded video, you will always meet, listen, no matter how right you are, you'll still be wrong to someone. You will never be too right. No matter your good intention, you still be bad to someone. So my point of view is before we abuse people, it's a very low intelligence when you begin to abuse someone. You have not taken time to know them. You don't know where I'm coming from. You don't know where I am and where I'm going. So just take time to listen to what we're about to say. It's very ignorant of you to call someone a dog. Wewe ni umbwa, wewe ni ng'ombe. I mean, you don't know how a dog looks like for you to call a human being a dog. That's why I'm addressing this, so that when we begin to speak about these things, we can see where we are heading. Now, forget within 90 days. In the assumption that I would ever be in that position, on that day of power changing, power will be felt. On that day, did I say 90 days? I didn't. 90 days is too far. On that day of power changing hands, on that day, power will be felt. Because why? Many people have destroyed the lives of people. Let's assume we don't agree on any other thing. Let's just agree that corruption destroys lives. There are people that have been divorced because of corruption. I know, excuse me, the young man in Machakos that is still fighting for his money. What's his name? Samuel Kioko. Corruption. There are people who family members are dead because of corruption. There are people who have been killed because of corruption. There are drugs that are missing in hospitals because of corruption. So when you really look at a corrupt person, he's no longer a human being. He's a murderer. The other word for a corrupt person is a murderer. It's a person that diverts what's supposed to be for national consumption and makes it an individual point of view. So that you can buy shoes for his children, you can buy cars for your family, yet other Kenyans are suffering. So corruption, whether we agree or not, it doesn't matter what you think about it. Corruption is the biggest enemy to any nation. And you check nations that have become great, they only dealt with one thing, corruption. You can't talk about creating jobs where there is corruption. You can't talk about creating a better education system where there's corruption. You can't talk about companies coming from abroad to set base in Kenya because of unless you deal with corruption. So corruption is the OS, the operating system, that if it's removed, we can have a clear nation that can be able to forward the trajectory of this place.
How would you describe the role of the church in the current OS?
How the role of the church, or what should be the role of the church? What's the question? What should be the role, or what is the church? How does the church look like now?
What role has the church played into getting probably the country to where it is, and probably now what the church needs to do to get the country out of this?
Number one, we are very sorry. Our heart's desire, personally as John C.W., has always been to have leaders that can be able to build a society where people can be free from oppression, free from wickedness, free from the need to pay medical fees, free from education, of all those kinds of oppression. That has been my heart's desire. And this is the desire of the church. Do we do it to the best of our ability? No. Reason, there are many people that are in a religious mindset. There are people that believe a pastor should never be involved in politics or other leadership. Politics comes from two words. First word is poly. which is the word act of deciding a matter. The second word is tikos, on behalf of others. So politics is the act of deciding a matter on behalf of others. So when the church comes out and he says politics is a dirty game, there is nothing like a dirty game. It's an act of deciding. And if we do not put people on the front line, how do you put a thief and expect righteousness? How do you put a murderer and expect righteousness? So then what should the church do? Number one, and it's not just the church, the mosques, the temples, any religious institution, we should be able to, first of all, as much as we train sheikhs, as much as we train pastors and ushers and temple people, we should also train people to frontier leadership so that we can be able to be sure that the people that are coming on board, they have what it takes to siphon any amount of darkness. But when you look like now, for example, I stepped down from ministry after 16 years. I was expecting that pastors, most of them will understand. You even wonder, what are you saying? Oh, he left God. What do you mean you leave God? So let me ask you a question. If you leave Kenya, are you not a Kenyan? If you go to Uganda to visit Uganda, are you a Kenyan? So if I leave that building, am I a Christian? What's wrong with that issue? So you come to realize that there's so much religion that people feel that the work of a pastor is to just sit somewhere and tell you that you are going to heaven. No, the work of the church is oversight. The work of the church is to make sure that good governance is kept in the nation. The work of the church is not just to say that, but to also raise leaders with same mind effects that can be able to say, this is the best person, this is the best person. And truly, when we look at them, they become the best voice. So, my advice to the church, let us come out of religion. There is so much darkness in Kenya, and it will require leaders. We don't have shortage of pastors. We don't have shortage of sheikhs. We don't have shortage of temple leaders. We have shortage of good leaders. And that's what my appeal to religious institutions. Let us raise good leaders that can be able to fight corruption so that a nation can be free.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.